Yes, people, it's another match day. It's Chelsea versus Brighton. And today we're going to analyze the team, the lineup. And I think there's a lot of surprises there. And I knew something like that was going to happen. Like I always say, good luck correctly predicting Thomas Tuchel's selection because he never ceases to amaze us. When you think player A starts, player B starts. So yeah, not that much of a surprise given that he very, very always likes to spring surprises, throw left wing back. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And that's a huge surprise to me. I did not in a million years expect that to happen. I expected Marcos Alonso to keep his place, but I think this is more of an attack, you could say an attacking intent, not a defensive one. Because as I've mentioned a million times on this show, that the primary role of our wing backs isn't really to defend. The way we apply the system is different from the way other people apply it. Our wing backs are meant to attack and not to primarily defend. So that's not really a surprise to me, given that Tuchel hasn't ceased to amaze us. And thank you, Data. Always good to see you in the chat. Always supporting this channel. And thank you so much, Phantom of Many Topics, a brother and a friend sent to you, Data. I hope we're all enjoying the season. Before I continue, it's important that I note that Fortmod app, using it for free. It's a free mobile app that you can use. They're not paying me, like I've mentioned before. The app just helps make the whole streaming seamless, showing you the lineup of players on the bench and all that, and you can download it and start using it. It's on Apple products and also on Android products. Yeah, so I can be taking your question while I wait to see if anybody will join us to debate the lineup. In the midfield, I could say there's no too many surprises there. We expected Kovacic to start, although some people thought it was going to be Saul and Kovacic would come on later, but last game he played, he showed that he is, he's fully fit and ready to go. So I'm not surprised that Kovacic is starting today. I knew, what's his name? I knew James will keep his place. Also, I knew Rudiger will keep his place. I wasn't expecting Cezar Azpillicueta to start this game. I thought Trevor Chalobah will keep his place. And also I had suggested that Kepa Arrizabalaga start. But that's, by the way, let me welcome my friend and a brother, Helgi, to the stream so that we can start discussing the lineup. Helgi, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective.
Yeah, nice to find you once again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, how's everything with you?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't listen.
I said, how is everything with you? How are you doing?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's good. Like I'm trying to balance my personal stuff with the watching our games and everything. So the festive period is always a special one, but when you have Premier League football, it becomes even more exciting. And that Aston Villa win has given me a sort of like a boost in every aspect of my daily routine, and hopefully we replicate a kind of like a dominant performance tonight as well, consistently, because in the first half in that game it was a bit lazy. So tonight I expect that we need to dominate it from the first minute.
Yeah, but the thing is that one thing I've learned, the more it seems like we're facing an easier team to beat, the more difficult it is to to come out with a win. But I hope we'll see something different today. Like I've argued, the Charity FC thing has become a phenomenon that must be studied to know whether it's a mentality thing, whether it's just a curse, or if it's just a myth. But that's a discussion for another day. So overall, looking at the lineup, do you have a copy or you want me to share the screen?
Yeah, could you share it, please? Because I was rushing to come here as well, so I'm seeing it for the first time now.
All right, yeah, there you go. We have it here. Let me put it this way so that we can see it very well. We have Mendy between the sticks. Andreas Christensen leading the back three. We have Antonio Rudiger to his left, Cezar Azpillicueta to his right. The two sixes are Jorginho and Kovacic. Callum Hudson-Odoi starts as a left wing back man there, and James keeps his place as a right wing back guy. The two eights is Christian Pulisic, Mount, and number 9, Big Rom himself. So what do you think? Surprises for you, or you expected it to be this before?
No, the only surprise maybe is Alonso's inclusion, like in terms of the fact that he has been playing regularly. Maybe it's a sort of message towards the board that these are our options, and now we have to go into the market and replace Ben Chilwell with someone decent. So without, of course, without like hampering the quality of the team, because Odoi has shown massive improvement there. Another perspective on the matter, because I'm mainly referring to the left wing back matter, which more or less makes a surprise for me, because the others are, well, I expected them to start. Odoi has been playing in that position for a while now, so it's not a surprise that more, here and there he will play. And maybe Tuchel sees this game as a game when we can be more like courageous on the ball. We can have more freedom, even though Brighton are a good team in terms of playing out from the back and creating chances themselves. But I feel that we should have a lot for them, and should like be dominant from the first minute to the last. So more or less, no surprises. I expected Lukaku to start, and it would be such a strange thing to say that he would start from the bench after that performance against Aston Villa. Kante and Thiago were injured, so Christensen and
That one was we expected Christensen to start in the absence of Thiago Silva.
Yeah, but yeah. I think no one else could have been there, actually. Maybe Chalo, but you should think in perspective, because we play Liverpool and Tottenham next. So I see it as an indirect like message from Tuchel, which tells us once again that Chalo is very important person in the team, and I feel that he will be a crucial part in the next games against Liverpool, Tottenham, and whoever we play next. So this is I see it as a rest for him. He has suffered a bit from his injuries against Watford, and then he had another problem here and there. So I really doubt if the players are 100% fit. So more or less, Tuchel has gone off with what he had in the last 30 or 45 minutes against Aston Villa, and it's expected from me. So the only surprise, if we can call it in this way, is Alonso's being on the bench and Odoi replacing him. So that's all.
Understood. Okay, now let's start from where there are questions. There's also something in the chat from Ty. And Ty, don't worry, I'll put the link to the panel in the chat in a bit. Now, he says Chalobah had a stinker. We would be promoting poor performance by starting him. So that's takes us to why Cezar Azpillicueta starts in the right center back position over Chalobah, who's fit. You could argue he's not tired, and I don't think he had a stinker last time. He did his best. You know, he showed some improvements. He showed some measure of maturity in his game. So I don't understand Ty's argument. So when you got, I think I'd have to put the link in the chat so that maybe you can come in and fight for your place. Let me just phrase it that way. So why do you think Azpillicueta is starting over Chalobah?
Well, in my opinion, it's just for rotation purposes. It's not. It doesn't have to do with sort of lack of shape from Chalo's side. As same as you, I don't really get the argument that Chalo had the stinker against Villa. He struggled, in my opinion, against Watkins' place and their directness towards his flank to go fast in transition and hit us on the counter whenever they had the opportunity. But then
Yes.
after the passing of minutes, and especially in the second half, he was very collected, calm on the ball, and made some good interventions when they were trying to have their moments of going forward and hitting us on the counter. So I believe that he did well, and even in those moments when Watkins was getting the better of him in terms of pace and acceleration, like getting forward, he would position himself in the right position, in the right place, and block their shots or be there as a guard. So maybe it wasn't his best performance in terms of positioning and preventing their shots altogether, but he did well enough to have a decent game, in my opinion. Maybe the standards for him are very high, so that not a perfect performance seems like a stinker for some or for some others, but in my opinion, it wasn't a stinker. And Aspi starts just for rotation purposes and nothing else, in my opinion.
Yes, here's how Josh puts it here. And if you ask me, that's how what I'd argue. I'd imagine it gives Chalo a little extra rest for the Liverpool game. We will need him on his freshest legs. I think that makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that he gets some rest because
yes,
he has more legs in him right now than Azpilicueta does. And I think he executes that position very well, even better than Azpilicueta does. And this is not me disrespecting Azpilicueta. The truth is, for every position, there's a better player for that position. And I think yeah, so now, Helgi, coming back to you, I think we had a bit of issue with the internet connection.
no problem.
Yeah. So now let's go to the left wing back position. That's a huge surprise for me. Matt, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. It's always good to have you around.
Thank you very much.
No, more thanks to you for finding time to be with us. Now, why Callum Hudson-Odoi? Because we have Alonso. I know some would argue it's just attacking intent, not primarily for him to defend. We understand, we've learned that if you follow the way we implement our formation or the way we apply our system, it will be clear to you that the primary role of our wing backs isn't to defend. But why Callum Hudson-Odoi? Isn't that a bit of a risk, given that every game matters now? I'm starting with you, Matt. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not too sure, because I've heard different people saying different things. So some people have said that Reece James could start on the left, and it's actually going to be Pulisic on the right. I've heard a number of different people, but I think you've got to look at it that Alonso has played, 7, 8 games in a row now?
Around that number, or at least 6.
Now Chilwell is out, and we know he's going to be out for the season. Alonso has to get some sort of rest, because if he gets injured, then we are really screwed. So I think until we get another left-back replacement in, we've got to have someone in there as an option, whether that's Pulisic, whether it's Callum Hudson-Odoi, whether it's James coming on the other side. We've got to have someone on. So we'll see how we get on. But I think Pulisic is better at the wing-back than Callum, so I hope Callum's further forward.
Oh, you think Pulisic is better on the wing better than Callum on the wings, you think?
On the wing back, yeah. I think it's a bit more of a risk, because I don't think Pulisic, like Callum, is as defensively sound, but I think he's better from that position. I think Callum's been very effective up front on the left, so why not just keep him there?
Okay, let me ask this. How about the risk in terms of the defensive aspect of the game? Because look at it, if we had N'Golo Kante in the midfield, then I don't have any concerns of Callum Hudson-Odoi not being a defensively minded player. But we don't have N'Golo Kante. And the truth is, no matter how you bring the argument, in his absence, we've shipped more goals than we ever done for a long time under Thomas Tuchel. 4 times we've conceded more than a goal in a single game. And in those games, Kante did not play. And now we don't have Kante in the midfield, which clearly means our defense doesn't have proper protection. And again, we have Callum Hudson-Odoi as the left wing back guy there. Doesn't that present a defensive issue? Because no matter how we rate Brighton, they can attack with blistering speed. We know that.
I
So
mean,
what do you think?
I would just flip it and say, what does Alonso bring in terms of defense? In terms of defensiveness, Alonso is not exactly a defensively sound wing back either. So I don't think
Oh,
it's
some respect, man. Come on,
yeah.
man.
No, no, no,
You
no,
don't think Alonso is better than Cho
he is,
defensively?
but it's not like it's a massive drop off. There are still going to be issues if you have Alonso there, and that is still going to be the side they attack no matter what. Because James, let's be honest, James, if you look at that side of James and Azpilicueta, that is the stronger side. They always look to go down that Alonso side anyway. So I think whether it is Alonso or Callum, I don't think it's going to be that big a difference.
Yeah, I get your point, but what my concern lies is I understand we have solidity on the right hand side, given Azpilicueta's defensive abilities, James's defensive abilities. The left hand side is where I'm concerned. And if these players, let me show the screen again. If these players operate as we're seeing it here, with Jorginho on the left side and Kovacic on the right hand side, we have more problem on the left hand side because Jorginho isn't the quickest to return and cover for Cho when we have issues there. Usually, again, I'm sounding like a broken record right now, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. The primary role of our wing backs isn't to defend, the way we apply our system. But that is okay when Kante is on the pitch. But in the absence of Kante is a big problem. So I'm going to take it to Josh now before I come back to you again, Matt. Josh, what do you think about Callum Hudson-Odoi starting as a left wing back man there? And some say we're resting Marcus Alonso or resting anybody else. But isn't it time for us to clinch the points as they come? Taking one by one, win games that we should win, because I'm really concerned here. I know it's an attacking intent, but we're not balanced in the midfield to protect the defense properly. And that means these guys will get the chance to come at our defense. And if they come 10 times, at least they will get at least 3 chances to have a shot on our goal. So what do you think about Callum starting there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a world really today where Callum's playing wing back. I think he's going to be playing that left wing. I think James and Christian Pulisic will be the wing backs today. Whether it's left or right, I'd imagine James would be on the left if Jorginho's on that left side, just for that defensive stability. Kovacic can sort of handle his own, and Pulisic, I think he showed the last couple of times at right wing back that he can do a job defensively. Like you said, we're asking our wing backs to predominantly attack. Christian had an assist last time he was in at wing back. So I don't really – I understand your concern, but I don't see a huge defensive drop-off if Reece James and Pulisic are playing wing back today. I mean, George could always be considered a defensive liability if he's being targeted, but I think having James on that left side will give him a bit more stability defensively just because James has that pace on him to help out Jorginho. But I think the front three is going to be what it was to end the game last week with Callum, Mountain, and Lukaku, and then the wing backs will be either James or Pulisic. I can't see Callum playing wing back probably at all anymore this season unless something really bad happens.
Great argument, explanation right there. I think it makes sense. Not really a big concern, except if they start targeting Jorginho, and then we have a problem because that will spill onto the whole left-hand side. And then I think Rudiger provides a bit of a big security, but he can't do it alone. That's, by the way, Josh, again, sorry for my bad behavior. Welcome to the panel. I
no worries.
was just in the moment. I didn't remember to welcome you, but that's my apologies again. The right-hand side, what do you think about Cezar Azpillicueta starting and not Chalobah?
Yeah,
the right
I think
center-back position.
I think in the case of Chalo and Alonso, they're both being rested for Liverpool. Matt brought up the point. Alonso's played 6, 7, 8 games maybe here in a row, and that's far too many for him. So we need him on fresh legs against Liverpool, and we'll need Chalo feeling good and healthy and fresh as well. I think that's the only reason that Asby is starting at right center back today. So yeah, just purely a rest thing, and then in hopes, fingers crossed, that Aspie can do a job. But yeah, just giving Chalobah another week to rest, and same with Alonso. I think that's all that is. We have to. There has to be
Here's
some
how I'd
rotation.
argue it, Josh. Now, the two of them, Chalobah is more mobile. But in terms of defensive solidity, Azpilicueta is more solid defensively than Chalobah is. But don't you think we're better off starting Azpilicueta against Liverpool than Chalobah because he has experience and he's more defensively minded than Chalobah is, and will provide more defensively than Chalobah would do for us against Liverpool. So why not continue playing? Why not play Chalobah in this game and then clinch the point, put it in the bag, and then move ahead? What do you think?
Yeah, I just don't see any world where Asby against the speed of Liverpool would stand any sort of chance. He is a good one-on-one defender if he's being called on, but I think Tuchel's shown it in the past when we play teams that have a fast or a pacey winger. He likes to either play like a Chalobah or Reece James back there to sort of shore that up, and I think it'll be the same thing against Liverpool. I don't see it. If Mane would be able to get in far too easy behind Asby, and I just don't see that happening. If Chalobah's playing, we have a much better chance of at least cutting out those lobs over the top or pacey balls in behind and stuff like that. That's my opinion. I don't think Asby has the legs to compete in those kind of games anymore.
Yeah, again, the one thing we have to understand is when we apply the system, then he wouldn't have to run that much to contribute defensively. But that's, by the way, we all see things differently, and that makes the stream a very good one for people to learn from. I get your point. His pace and his lack of pace could be an issue against Liverpool, and Chalobah provides more pace than he does. But that's by the way, anybody can come in and chip in their opinion. Okay, I'm going to take it back to Mendy before we move ahead in the forward and for the 2-8. For the Mendy being between the sticks now, you could argue that Kepa has done better than Mendy of late whenever he plays. And I think he reads the game. Let's just be objective here. There's no disrespect to Mendy. He's a good goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. But I think Kepa suits our system better because he reads the game very well and he comes off his line quicker than Mendy does to save us. But right now, my argument is why not? Is this not the perfect opportunity to bring in Kepa Arrizabalaga and ease him back into the team seamlessly so that it doesn't seem as if, okay, you're now important because Mendy isn't available. Which I just thought after the last game he played for us, he was brilliant between the sticks. So we could have just continued playing him, to keep his confidence going rather than just dropping back to the bench again.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand him starting because he is going to play games. But you could flip it the other way and say, well, if he does have a bad game, then he's going to go fresh into them run of games, knowing that game he had against Brighton has been poor. I could understand it both ways. In terms of Almighty Blue's question, I think as far as I know, he has the same thing with Salah that he will be able to play for Liverpool and then go off. So Mendy will likely be in the sticks against Liverpool.
Yep. I think Liverpool is his last game before he has to leave.
Wouldn't it be the same for Mane?
Yeah. I think all three of them. January 3rd is the day they have to leave a report.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, it's up to the club, the country that they're playing.
Exactly, and the club and the country. Sometimes, because I've followed African for a long time, sometimes there could be an arrangement between the country and the club to keep the player until the last minute. So it depends on how the relationship. But I think Klopp has a very weird relationship with the coaches of his players, given his statement about African and all that. So they went back and forth for a bit. But that's, by the way, coming to you, Josh, what do you think about my argument about that Mendy should have continued after our last Carabao Cup and the last games he's played has been brilliant. Why not keep him to keep his confidence going? Because dropping him to the bench means you've broken that confidence. Bringing him back, you're not sure the Kepa you're gonna get.
Yeah, no, I understand your argument. I think Tuchel has made it clear though to both keepers that Mendy's is number one. So whenever Mendy is fit to play and he's healthy, Mendy's going to be the guy to play. I think you got it, and he's got 2 games left before he goes. You got to try to get your best games out of him before he takes off. I get wanting to build Kepa's confidence, but I think Tuchel's done a pretty good job of that post game when he's played of keeping him confident, letting him know how well he played, and kind of just building his confidence on the back end through words and things in the media and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I think Kepa's done really well. I think they both have their strengths and weaknesses. Sort of polar opposite, if you ask me. I think like in tight spaces, Kepa's much better than Mendy, but from further out, Mendy's much better than Kepa. So, yeah, I think Mendy's the number one keeper. I think that's been made abundantly clear by Tuchel. So I think while he's there, you got to use him, and then Kepa will get his chance to build his confidence through a string of games as long as Mendy's gone. So I get what you're saying.
Honestly, go ahead, Josh.
No, you're good.
Honestly, here's my question here, because we're all humans. If I were Mendy, I wouldn't take this lightly. It just seems as if, like I phrased it before, it would just seem as if, okay, I'm now important because Mendy isn't available. You get my argument. So You talked about how Tuchel talked about his performances and trying to boost his confidence. Why not put the cherry on the cake? Keep him between the sticks. At least in the last 2 games we've played, he's a good goalkeeper. The issues Kepa has had was just on the Frank Lampard, and I think the way he's treated then didn't help his confidence either. It wasn't the situation. So I'm just confused. I'm all for Mendy starting, but we should do things in a way that no player feels left out, and a player as important as Kepa Arrizabalaga, who he's the only person we have available that's capable of, guarding the sticks for us. In the absence of Mendy, he did well in the Carabao Cup and saved us. We all see how he saved us against Zenit in the Champions League. It's not just show it by your action. Start him. Explain to Mendy, no, I'm not benching you because you had a howler or you made a mistake. But this is it. We need the transition to be seamless from you to Kepa Arrizabalaga, so he feels trusted. But as it is right now, I don't really think Kepa will feel trusted. He just feels like, to me, if you ask me, I'd say he will feel like, okay, because Mendy is not available now, I'm the number one keeper. And when he comes back, he just comes in and then I'm in trouble. He'll be looking to leave the club. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say about that situation here. The floor is yours.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, if you want to help me.
The thing is that I would get your argument if Kepa didn't get his chances in the cup games of a considerable magnitude, and he has get those like chances that a second keeper usually wouldn't have. He played in the FA Cup final. He was subbed against Villarreal in the Super Cup, and then after the game, it was clear and transparent that Tuchel had spoken with the keepers that in a situation like the one that we had there, the substitution would happen, and Kepa had his place. He has helped us in the Carabao Cup game so far, and we are forgetting something that I want to point out in this discussion of making the transition smooth, as you said, for Mendy to Kepa in this January period, that we have the Tottenham game between the Liverpool game and Man City game, if I'm not wrong. So although it's a Carabao Cup game, it's a London derby at the end of the day, so it has the magnitude and the weight that can give a keeper confidence and the opportunity to make himself available 100% for the game against Man City and for the game against Tottenham in the league. So I feel that no one will regret the decision of playing Mendy regularly and playing Kepa on the cup, basing on the fact that both are happy with the fact that we are giving chances to them. It's not that Kepa is playing the cup games against the low tier teams, and then when the final stages come, we reverse back to Mendy, and then he is second hand again. But it's not that discussion. So he has had his place in a different way, and I get your argument about the fact that he hasn't had this transition from a Premier League game to another Premier League game. Maybe some exceptions last year, but in the cup games he has played a considerable role since Tuchel has arrived. So I feel that for a man who was low in confidence and struggled in the season under Frank Lampard and that half a season last year, it's a massive improvement. So we shouldn't abuse with this fact, because he's doing well enough. So I feel that the Tottenham game is the one when we should see him perform. We should see him be on the six for us, and then he will be against Man City in his 100%. But now that Mendy is leaving, why bench Mendy when you know that you won't have him for a month?
It just seems like everybody on the panel just turned against me.
No.
I have one hope. I will have one hope. Let me see if Matt will maybe be for me. Matt, go ahead. Your thoughts on this while we wait for Felicia and Josh to come back and join us. What do you think about this situation? What would you do? What would you do? To get Mendy to get Kepa to be ready to feel trusted, even in the absence of Eduardo Mendy, to got the stakes with us in high confidence. Do you think he's been treated fairly? Or would you have done anything differently? You're on mute, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence in this kind of situation. I mean, last night in the predicted lineup of Worldwide Chelsea, I did have in mind Kepa in my first instance because of the exact reasons you said to get him involved. But he did have the Brentford game, so it's not like he's coming in completely cold. He has played quite a few of the cup matches, and I think in terms of the role that he has within the squad, Tuchel's very good with managing his players and letting them know what their roles are. So I think Kepa's always known what his role is. He knows he is the number two. He knows he'll play the cup matches. He'll know he'll come in January when Mendy goes, and that there will be some games he gets. Obviously, where this Christmas period is a bit more chaotic, maybe Tuchel's looked at it and gone, I want to be a bit more safe with Mendy, because as good as Kepa has been, Mendy is the safe option and will probably always be the safe option. So maybe it's just a thing where there's been so many changes within the team, in the defence, midfield, up front, so many COVID issues, injury issues. I don't know whether I think Tuchel might have just gone, you know what, I need to keep something the same, something stable, and maybe that's just Mendy.
Oh my word! So it's just you, Felicia. Let me see if you're for me or against me. Matt just proved that he's against me, and everybody, every one of them
I am against you.
Just give answers with the strategic answers. Let me put it that way. That made it seem like, okay, what am I talking about? But I hope everyone on the panel and the viewers also understand my point of view for the transition to be seamless and for Kepa to feel trusted. Over to you, Felicia. Let me know if you're for me or against me.
Well, I'm sorry, but I am against you.
Oh my word! Just go. Okay, go ahead. Tell us. Give us your input on the subject. Let's see.
Well, in terms of Kepa, we're talking about Kepa, right? Because my internet had a glitch a bit, and then so I follow Chelsea in the Chelsea app, and there's lots and lots of conversation about it. Sometimes he feels left out, and the rumors circulating about him possibly wanting to leave the club. But I highly doubt. I mean, look at how he played in the Carabao Cup. He literally gave us the win, like he just handed it to us. So I feel like Thomas Tuchel talks to the players and tells them, okay, you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about that. This will be your game. Your time is going to come. I mean, for the FA Cup, I think it was last season. I was expecting Mendy to start for one of the semi-finals. I'm not sure, but it was one of the games for the FA Cup. I was expecting Mendy to start. But then Kepa was the FA Cup keeper. I mean, it was just set, it was a set thing. So if it is in terms of Kepa, I don't feel he's feeling left out. And Mendy's leaving in January 3rd. So you said that this would be a game to probably boost his confidence. Sorry. So I feel like in terms of this game, this will be his last game. I mean, he's leaving on January 3rd. So why not just put it on and just finish it with a bang, So I don't feel he's being left out at all. If anything, everybody has his opportunity, and of course, maybe sometimes Thomas Tuchel does not make all the correct players in terms of putting them in playing. So if it is sometimes many, we've considered almost, I think, 9 goals right now, and before we're just keeping clean sheets. So some people are saying the defense is a bit is not a bit solid, but also Mendy too works with the defense. The whole team works together. So it's a bit of a debate, but I think that he does not feel left out. He's just taking his time, knows when to put Kepa when, and I feel it's working out.
Yeah, it's working out from outside. None of us have spoken to Kepa. I don't have his phone number, and I'm sure any of you haven't. We cannot argue that we know how he feels about the situation, but you can only speculate because of what we've seen, how players behave. Before he's talking about leaving the club, and then we're in serious trouble. But that's, I hope, because he's actually a pain in the neck of the board, Marina, and all this. It's not easy to sell him, actually, even if the club wants to sell him, given the price, how much we bought him for, and how long he still has in his contract. But that's by the way. Now, says Mendy can play Sunday, so not necessarily his last game. So I think, but I'm not going to argue about this next time. I'm just going to, I'm just going to only think about it and then hold my breath, because the panel will always be against me. So let's move to the 2-8 there. I'm starting with you, Matt. What do you think about Pulisic starting and Mount starting as the 2 number 8s? Because on the bench we have who do we have on the bench? We have Ziyech is available. And also who's another good number 8 there? I'm not seeing Kai there. Does anybody see Kai there?
Yeah,
Kai is there. Kai is available. And let me just add Barkley for respect purposes. So what do you think of Mount and Pulisic being the 2 number 8?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of having Kai on the bench, I don't think Lukaku can play 90, so I think naturally Kai will be on the bench and come on for Lukaku, with obviously Kai coming back from COVID. So I didn't think Kai would start at all. But yeah, I mean, Mount, he's had some good games. He's been quite productive with the goals, even though he may not be completely productive throughout the whole game, and it is just more moments. But at the same time, we need our forwards to create. So if he's providing goals, if he's making goals for himself, that's why he's in the team. And then I think on that left side, it's a flick of a switch. Is it Callum? Is it Pulisic? Is it Ziyech? I think, out of all honesty, I think Tuchel probably at the moment prefers Callum or prefers Pulisic. I don't think he's ever really preferred Ziyech at all. I think he's gave him chances, but I think if you were to ask him if you could let one lick go, I think Ziyech would be the guy you'd let go, because I just don't think they're suited. And sometimes it's fine. Sometimes a player.
Let me. I'm going to take on this fight with you. Why Ziyech? I know you're my brother and I love you. Can you tell me why Ziyech will be the one to leave? Because if you ask me, I'd say Ziyech is actually one of the most creative players we have off front as a number 8. You get my argument? Yeah, and I like this fight with you, Matt. Now, Ziyech can create chances. He has defense splitting passes. He has great vision. And he's one of the only guys on the pitch that when you make that move, he sees you and orchestrates the pass with such a pace that before the opponent defense know what's happening, the ball gets to the intended person. And if they time their run very well, we have a chance to score. So can you tell me why Ziyech? That's just that. I have nothing against you. We're brothers, but this is a fight I'd like to let's slug it out now. Tell me why Ziyech.
Oh my God, you like to fight. You like fighting too much.
I know.
Yeah, I like it.
To be honest, it's not me thinking it as in terms of ability. I think if you look at it on ability, I think Ziyech, he has a good role in the squad, but I think it's more what Tuchel prefers, what Tuchel thinks about the system. I just always get that kind of feeling when Tuchel speaks about Ziyech with how he picks his lineups, that there just isn't that same kind of passion as I see when he speaks and when he picks Pulisic, when he speaks and picks about Callum now, when he talks about Mason, when he talks about... It just seems the odd one out. It's nothing...
That is really deep.
For me, it's nothing...
Right?
It's not...
That's deep. How is he able to read that situation? That didn't even come to mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's for me, it's nothing about ability. If it was me, I think Ziyech hasn't had... Well, he's had a chance, but at the same time, he's been very unlucky with injury. So I would still give him at least to the end of the season to see how he can do. Although the flip side is where you can give time to players like Mason, players like Callum, players like Pulisic, because they're young, they're not in their primes yet. Ziyech is in his prime. Ziyech wants to start all the time because he is in his prime. And I think the club and Tuchel will probably be less patient with him compared to others. So I just feel like that there's different reasons, and that might just be a reason why Ziyech will want to go. I don't think Ziyech has ever been fully comfortable himself, personally.
Wow, that's a fight I'm losing. Before I come to you, Felicia and Helgi, I'd like the people in the chat to know today is the 29th, right? So we have just a few days before the New Year. So in a given spirit, I think we'll do a giveaway today for the New Year purposes. So if you have in about how many minutes from now, we should be able to do it in 5 minutes time. So if you have anybody you want to reach out to and let them know that we'll be doing a giveaway so that they can participate and get a chance to win. Or if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, just join us on YouTube so that you can participate and get a chance to win the prize. So Felicia, coming to you, while you answer this question, I'm going to go get ready the giveaway tool. Matt can also counter your question, or Helgi. I trust Matt is my brother and he's a great presenter, if you guys don't know already. So what do you think about Matt's argument about Ziyech?
I mean, that was deep, the way you put it. I had not noticed that, but I think when you think about it, the way he put it, it kind of makes sense. It just comes to you and you're like, oh really? But then the thing is, Ziyech is a wizard, yo. Every time he comes to the pitch, if he does not get an assist, sometimes he gets goals. And I feel like he just doesn't get the opportunity as much. So in terms of Ziyech, I'll also say mentally, he's a bit affected, with the whole saga with the AFCON, back home, the Moroccan coach kind of like snubbed him or did not call him up for the AFCON. And the whole saga, I think it got to him, or something of the sort, that he was not interested in joining the team, that he pretended to have an injury. It was a lot of drama. So for me, I feel like Ziyech is a great player if he's given the opportunity, but he's suffering from injuries, as Matt said. And I would think that if he's given the opportunity, he'd actually show up. He has the talent, he has the motivation, he has the, how do you call it? he wants to do it. He wants to nick in goals. He wants to show up for Chelsea, but he's just not getting the opportunity. So I feel like if he finally gets it, he will actually show up for us. I mean, look at last season. He was giving us goals. So, and by the way, if this giveaway is up for us too, I want to win it.
Yes, the panel can participate. The only those that are exempt from participating are those that have won it before. So again, if you're watching from Facebook or Twitter, come join us on YouTube so you get a chance to win the authentic Chelsea polo shirt. That is, if you're in the UK or US, you get the prize. If not, if you're outside the US and the UK, you get the cash equivalent, which is around $50. So now, before we go to the giveaway, so Felicia, finally, something you're on my side for. So I agree. Thank you. That makes me very happy. I have somebody that supports me. Yeah, Ziyech for me isn't the guy to make way. We don't have anything better Remember the issue with one of the biggest issues with our squad. Do we have a big squad? Yes, we do have a big squad, but we have a big squad that is not balanced. And Ziyech is the one that is a bit different from all other players we have in that area. So why do away with him when we don't have any other capable player to be able to bring that difference of different attributes that he brings to the table. So, but that's by the way, Lukaku starting isn't a surprise. We know that, and the midfield, as expected, with just the surprises there, where the left wing back position.
Yeah.
For me, the right centre back position, and for me, my fight for Kepa Arrizabalaga to start games before Mendy leaves, and not when Mendy leaves to bring him in, and my argument being his confidence. So I'm going to come to you before we do we start doing something about the giveaway. What do you think about what are you expecting from this game, and what do you think the outcome will be?
As I said at the beginning of the stream, I expect a comfortable game for us, at least in principle, because it's one of those games that you are double motivated due to Liverpool's loss yesterday night, and the fact that, or treble motivated because we play Liverpool next. So we have our game tonight to win. Liverpool lost yesterday, and we face them next. So it's 3 points mathematically, but it could mean so much more in perspective, and that's why I'm saying that it's a very important game, and I expect us to be fully motivated and fully with the right levels of appetite to be dominant and to make sure that we have a comfortable lead over them. Hopefully, we are clinical enough tonight, because as we have seen in the last few games, and I have been here in other streams that we have done, and more or less we have talked about the fact that we, especially in the last stream that we did on Christmas Day, so it was the lack of clinicality has costed us. It's not something that we need to point out specifically, but we are saying it as a frustration that it has been for the last few games. So hopefully it's another story in this aspect tonight, and we make the most of our chances and prove our dominance and show our strength in the right way.
Yes, great argument right there. And before I go to Felicia to quickly, tell us what you're expecting of the game, her expectation for the game. Please, if you haven't, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and don't forget to click on the bell notification button so that you get notifications whenever we go live or whenever we have new shows, whenever I release a new video. But that's, by the way, Felicia, I'm going to come to you quickly so that we can facilitate the giveaway. Again, what do you think? What are your expectations for the game?
I mean, you guys should definitely check out my preview, but I will just summarize it. I feel like Brighton won't be an easy game. They're still ranking.
That's where I have a problem. When you think it's an easy game, that's when I'm usually concerned. But when it's a tough game, I'm all confident, because Chelsea seems like they want it big. They want the big fights and not the smaller teams. They seem to underestimate smaller teams, and that's when the factor Charity FC comes into play. And to me, I think I will, have to host a show on that, whether it's a phenomenon, a mentality thing, a curse, or just a myth. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, in terms of this game, I will not underestimate Brighton. I mean, this reminds me more of the game that we had a draw. I don't remember, but it was a squad that was in the bottom, I think 5 or 10. And I think it was Burnley, if I'm not wrong. So there are teams that come when they play Chelsea, they just want to draw. A draw is enough for them. Even though they get a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw, it's okay for them. But then for us, we need to get these 3 points. As my friend said, Liverpool lost yesterday, and that should be motivation enough for us to catch up. But then at the same time, there'll still be a margin, because we have played the same games, so they still have another game to play. So we still have to keep up. The race is never ending; it's unstoppable. But at the same time, Brighton too wants to gather. They want to garner points. They're 9th. They want to go up. Who doesn't want to win? So this game is going to be tough. Probably Brighton will look for a draw. But Chelsea, I feel like we should take this win. If we get to score a goal or two, let us lock the game, Let us just keep defending to our core and make sure we just grab the 3 points. It's very important to win this game.
All right, great point. So let's go straight to facilitate the giveaway, and we know how that works. I hope everyone can see my screen. And if you can, what you do is type in the chat, and if you're on the panel, you're allowed to participate. You just type hashtag Chelsea Perspective, all one word, and no caps. So Stav, just Viola has won it before, so she cannot participate. Helgi hasn't won it, so you can participate. So just type in the chat, type hashtag # if you like, Chelsea Perspective to participate. And I'll wait for you. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, you can come join the giveaway.
Oh boy, I'm participating. Woo!
Yes, and good luck to you. We'll come back to the score prediction quickly so we can round up. I'm waiting. Yes, Chelsea Perspective, that's the correct way to do it. Yep. So, Helgi, you've typed yours. Who else are we missing anybody? Staff, if you want to participate. Yes, that's it. Remove the hi guys in front of it. That will cause you a problem. So type it again, Helgi.
Now, do I need to type only the hashtag with the name, or because I'm in front of the phone screen and I can't
have to
really
remove the hi guys. Type it without the hi guys.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
So I will wait about 2 minutes so anybody who wants to join can join the giveaway, and I will run it soon.
Is it okay now?
I haven't seen it because I'm looking at the stream yet. That is perfect. Yeah, Chelsea Perspective. Okay. So I'm waiting for Stav. He's always been here. He hasn't had a chance. I'm waiting for also Data. Data hasn't typed his.
What's your expectations for this game? You didn't say.
Let's talk about what do you think the result will be? I will wait for Data. He's been a great supporter of the channels. So I'd like him to participate. What do you think the scoreline will be? Starting with you, Felicia.
I know it's gonna be a tough one, and such games are so hard to predict. But at the same time, I want a Chelsea win. We need these 3 points as much as possible. So I think possibly a 2-1. If we can keep a clean sheet, even better. But a 2-1 win for Chelsea will be my prediction for this game.
Yes, we lost you but that's I think what did you say the result would be again?
Oh, sorry about that. I mean, I said, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. I said, I think this is going to be a hard game. At the same time, we need to grab these 3 points. So possibly if we maintain a clean sheet, even better. But, these days, you never know. So possibly a 2-1 win for Chelsea will be my prediction.
Brilliant. That's a good one. Chichi, if you can hear me, and Stav, if you can hear me, please type hashtag Chelsea Perspective in the chat to participate in the giveaway. We have just a few minutes to round up. I want to run it soon. Please, I'm waiting for you guys. Type hashtag Chelsea Perspective. And Almighty Blues FC, you've won it before, so please remove your comment. You are not allowed to participate.
Hey, you gotta try your luck.
Yes, so for Chichi, Eze, and Star, type it like this. This is just an example. Chelsea, hashtag Chelsea participate. Yes, exactly, to participate in the giveaway. So Star, I'm waiting for you to do that. All right, so now I'm going to start collecting the comments, and I'm going to draw 5 entries there, I hope. Let me just rewind it to be sure it gets everybody refreshed, so to speak. All right, so I'm going to type it again. # Chelsea Perspective is what we're looking for. And this is a stream in question, Chelsea versus Brighton. Start collecting comments. We have 6 So Stav is there already, so I'm gonna draw. Let's see who wins it. Good luck to everyone. And I wish us all a very prosperous new yay. Congratulations, Ellie.
I think it's third time lucky, but I'm not.
Yeah. Congratulations for me. I think it will be a 4-0 game. Chelsea will win by 4 goals to nothing.
Hopefully,
and again, this is just to wish everybody in the chat. Chichi is a staff, my very good friend, Just Viola, who's become a great friend, the Almighty Blues FC Ankit, who's become a fellow content creator, who's become a friend, from a friend to a brother. Data, always supporting the channel. Much respect to all of you, everybody who's, supported Chelsea Perspective in one way or the other in the past 7-8 months that the channel was launched. I appreciate you all, and I will keep, trying my best to provide quality content for you all. And congratulations to you again, Helgi. We will do another one once we enter the new year, just to show my appreciation also. So before we round off, I think the game has already started. So we just have to end the stream right now, but I will provide Felicia's complete information in the comment section the moment the video is ready. So thank you again, guys. Hopefully we'll get a win today. And Felicia, we have a meeting. We'll talk about that later. So your information will be in the comment section and people will get to know more about your channel. So thank you, guys. And
thank you very much.
Again, I wish you all a prosperous new year. God bless us all. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.